So it's Matt again for a second video today, everybody in the VC, and how are you doing on this October 2nd day? Probably you all are at work, haha, but I'm off for the week, so I'm not. And I'm glad because Bobby Z made a reminder video yesterday. I guess you all know Bobby Z. If you don't, he's definitely a character worth becoming acquainted with. But he's having a contest. He's having the return of the wonderful and somewhat few years ago controversial, unfortunately, Christmas lottery contest. So this is a great thing. If you enter the contest, you stand to win like 30 albums or 30 music related items. And what it is, in case you don't know, and if you care to know, and even if you don't care to know, is that people sign up to participate in the lottery to sort of be sponsors, if you will, and put the people's names in the hat, pull them out, and match them to a letter in the alphabet, and you get a corresponding letter. Like you might get the letter A or P or Z or whatever, and whoever wins the VC lottery, it's your job, if you've got the letter M, to go out and buy an album or a music related item. Could be album, a CD, a poster, a coffee mug, or whatever, that the letter corresponds to the letter you were assigned. So like M, you could do, I don't know, the band Magazine. You could do Paul McCartney. You could do, I don't know, I'm blank on the band that starts with M right now, but you get the picture. If you got B, you could do the Beach Boys or the Beatles or the Beau Brummels or John the Barber. I don't know. Someone's last name starts with a B. And so whoever wins the lottery from these 26 people is going to have all these Christmas gifts coming their way, because the drawing, I believe, is going to be around the first week of December. And the plan is that everybody sends their stuff so that this person gets all these goodies in time for Christmas. More than 26 people signed up to sponsor Bobby's contest. I'm one of them. So therefore, there's actually like 30 people in there, and I think he just duplicated. Some people have the same letter. You know, someone might have the letter, two people might have the letter H or whatever, and he did some other things like the number and the wild card. And you can go watch his video. He explains all that. But anyway, so that's the people that sponsor it. They're responsible for sending the prizes, but the people who sponsor it can also join it, as far as I know, and check Bobby's video to make sure anyone in the world can enter a thing. You might have to be subscribed to Bobby's channel. Maybe not. I'm not sure. Check his video and see. But, so, you enter the contest, and that make your video, and that puts you into the running of the contest, and December 4th or 5th or somewhere around there, Bobby's going to draw one person's name, and that person wins all of the 30 or so prizes. So God knows what they're going to get, but they're going to get a whole lot of it. So anyway, they did this, I want to say about 4 years ago, and it was a neat thing, and I took part in it then, made a video. I didn't win, which is cool because it was just fun to do, but I also signed up as one of the sponsors. I got the letter T. The person that won, I don't remember that person's name now. He's since dropped out of the VC. He was a good guy, but I sent him the album Marquee Moon by Television because I had the letter T. There were some jackass idiots that for some reason took umbrage at the VC Christmas lottery. I have no idea why. If you're not interested in a contest, don't enter it and move on to the next video, or go outside and take a walk or something. But a lot of people got all up in arms saying, well, you know, this is silly, this is greedy, these people are going to get 26 albums, and they're going to get a lot of albums that they don't want, or bands they don't know. Well, who cares? You're not getting them, so why the hell do you care? And saying, you know, the spirit of Christmas is giving, and the VC should start a charity, and yada yada yada, which is not a bad idea, granted. But some of these people got all up in arms about the Christmas lottery thing because a lot of people are stupid. And a lot of people that took part in the lottery and had fun with it got all upset and out of sorts about this, which I don't know why people do that either, because my response to people like that is, and I'll be polite because this is a Christmas video, you know, if you don't like the contest, don't take part in it. But other people want to take part in it. What business is it of yours? So there was this big hubbub, and a bunch of people left the VC, including the guy who won the contest, which is a shame, and I don't know that he ever came back. Like I said, this was back in 2014 or so. And then I think Bobby Z's the guy that came, well, he is. I'm pretty sure he's the guy that came up with the VC lottery contest back in 2014, I believe it was. He tried to do it, I think, the next year, and the idiots rose up and, caused another fuss, and so ended up getting canceled. So here it is, 4 or so years later, he's brought it back. So far, fingers crossed, seems to be going okay. Like I said, 26 spots because of each letter in the alphabet. I think in the end, and in 2014, more than 26 people signed up to send prizes to whoever won. And I think this year it's like 31 people signed up to send prizes. And it's really cool because you can win all this stuff. That'd be fun, but it's the spirit of Christmas, so it's really not about you winning. Like I said, the contest back in 2014, I forget the questions and what all you had to do back then because that's a long time ago, but it was a fun contest. I do remember that, and I just enjoyed making a video, and I enjoyed more than that watching everybody else's video entries, which is the point of most of these VC contests. I've won 1 or 2 of them, but I've entered a whole bunch of them. But for me, it's just more fun to watch everybody else's, because if it's name your top 5 albums, say, or whatever the question or whatever you have to do, well, I mean, I know what my top 5 albums are, so it's not news to me. It's fun to watch other people's selections, and then I can sit there and say, oh yeah, that guy's got good taste, or what the hell, that guy didn't know what he's talking about, or I'm just kidding. It's just fun to watch other people's entries on these things, and thus it was with the Christmas lottery video contest 4 years ago. So that was fun, and then it was fun to I swear I remember the guy's videos, what he looks like. I just can't remember his name, but they won. But when I got assigned the letter T, because Bobby Z got everyone that was going to enter it, as far as being a sponsor, not as far as making an entry to win the prizes, so that he could assign the letters. And I think he did that back in, I don't say September or so. That's what he did this year. So I think he did the same in 2014. And when I got the letter T, I was thinking, okay, and that's cool. And it was just fun for me to go through and think of all the bands that started with a T. You couldn't use the, so you couldn't do like the Beatles, the Rolling Stones. You could do the, but otherwise you couldn't do the or the. But you could do like the Talking Heads and Television and Triumph and Robin Trower, or last name starts with a T, those type people. And so I just made a list of all the T bands and had fun deciding which I was going to pick out for the person that won. And, then I sent him the album, and he actually said he had never heard it and listened to it and enjoyed it. So that was really cool, and that was the fun of it. Not that I cared that, I particularly wanted to win. I guess that would be fun and all, but just fun, because it's, to me, that's sort of Christmas, the spirit of giving, because we're going to give an album to a fellow VC member, and so are like 28, 29, 30 other people. So they're going to get a ton of albums, and or like I said, can be posters, albums, Beatle coffee, or a coffee mug of Elvis or the Beatles or the Clash or whatever, or 45 whatever magazine, book. So yeah, okay, whoever wins, since they're going to be getting music presents from 30 different people, they're probably going to get some stuff that, what the hell is this? Never heard of this. Or they're going to get some stuff they're going to listen to and go like, it's in for me. And that's fine. They can put it on their shelf and let it collect dust. They can throw it out the window. They can take it to the record store and trade it for something they like. Or they can give it to someone who might like it. Or they can give it away, do their own VC contest and give it away in there. Kind of like a fruitcake. Just pass it around. Some album by somebody no one likes. Anyway, so this time around, Bobby did that. He also said that if you make an entry, which is what I'm doing right here, right now, today, I'm making an entry, that you have to name a charity. And I think, well, yeah, obviously, if you win, because he couldn't do all 30 people's charities, unless you're filthy rich like Bobby Z, then you can, that's no problem. But you have to pick a charity that you are going to donate $25 to, at least $25. And if you're the one who wins, like for instance, if I won the VC Christmas lottery, then everyone else who signed up, and I guess people who made videos, because you don't have to sign up to give a present or a record if you don't want to. That's strictly voluntary. You can still enter the contest and win and get all those 30 records, or 31 or 28 records, or whatever it's going to end up being, without yourself having to go buy a music-related item or an album to send to. I mean, if you won, you wouldn't send it to yourself. So you see what I'm saying. So strictly voluntary if you want to be a sponsor and go buy a music-related item. But if, say, I win, then the charity that I pick, everybody that signed up to be a sponsor that's going to be sending me all these records is also strictly on the honor system. So Bobby Z, as far as I know, he might be. Wouldn't put it past him. He's yeah, I wouldn't put it past him, but I don't think he's going to be going around to your house and checking to make sure that you actually made a donation to that charity. You're on the honor system. It's Christmas. You know, you're supposed to do what's right in your heart and soul and all that good stuff. So, but if, say, I win, and let's just say that the charity I pick is the American Red Cross, then I'm going to give $25 to Red Cross, or at least $25, and everybody that signed up to be a sponsor, those people that will be sending me all these cool Christmas records and goodies and posters and magazines and books, they also are supposed to give $25 to the American Red Cross. And if Susie Q over here wins, and her charity of choice is Save the Whales, she's going to send $25 to Save the Whales, and I'm supposed to send her a record that I pick out, and I'm supposed to send $25 to Save the Whales. And you send it directly to the charity. You don't send it to Bobby Z's house and let him deal with all that and send it. You just send it directly to the charity. And again, that's on the honor system. If you're okay with saying you'll do that and you don't, I don't know, enjoy your time in hell or whatever. It's your decision. I kid. But, so, I would say that we have the North Tarrant Area Food Bank here in Tarrant County, which is in Texas, which is Fort Worth and the surrounding area, which you make donations to them, and they buy food for people that in need. And as far as I know, there are food banks throughout the United States in your county, your state, and city, or probably your county or your city. And so I'm going to donate at least $25 this Christmas season to the North Tarrant County Area Food Bank, which covers Fort Worth and Arlington and the mid-cities and all that. You are, and should I win the VC lottery, you are more than welcome to also send $25 to the North Tarrant County Area Food Bank. You can find them, you can Google them on that computer thing there. And, or, if you'd rather, if you live in Michigan or California or Montana or Florida or Easter Island or wherever, you can send $25 to the food bank in your area, because I'm sure there are people who are hungry in that area too, unfortunately. So it might be cooler if everyone sent them to North Terrace so they get a big, huge donation. From $25 from 30 people is a good chunk of change. But if you want to send them to your own area, do that. Now, again, unless I win the VC lottery in the first week of December, you won't be sending money to the food bank. You'll be sending your donation to the charity of choice that the person who wins the VC lottery picks out. So, you know, Bobby Z is a contributor to this, but he's not putting himself in, so he can't win the lottery, by the way, in case you were wondering. Anyway, so that is that, the charity part. The video, Bobby asks, this is, and I'm trying to remember because he made this video back in like August or so of the rules, and I'm trying to remember back. It was something to do with Charles Dickens and A Christmas Carol and the ghosts of Christmas past, future, and present, and uh, Marley and Cratchit and all that stuff. And so Bobby Z had this idea that we're going to have this big Christmas party, probably going to be at Bobby Z's house, because his house, you ever seen the Biltmore, the Vanderbilt mansion out there in North Carolina? His house is like 4 times the size of that of here. Just he like Batman, Stately Wayne Manor off the Batman show. So out there where Bobby Z lives. So I think this party's going to be at Bobby Z's. He's going to provide open just food and drink and party favors and prime rib and caviar and all this. It's going to be a Bobby Z Christmas party blowout. But you, or me, since I'm making an entry, and you, if you make an entry, are in charge of inviting 3 ghost guests, which means 3 musical people who have and are no longer with us, at least not physically. So you get to bring 3 people back from the dead for this Christmas Eve party at Bobby Z's house. And I think the only rule is they have to be in some way related to music. So I guess, Babe Ruth wouldn't count, for instance, or George Washington, even though I think George could hum quite a mean tune with his wooden teeth there. But so 3 ghosts of Christmas past, and then Bobby had this. He explained how he was going to pick the winner of the contest. He's going to have these ghosts cut out up on a felt board, and the first person that it's kind of confusing. I didn't really understand it, other than we got to pick 3 ghosts. So party at Bobby Z's house, that's going to be insane because Bobby himself is certifiable, and so you don't want to have Lawrence Welk and Bing Crosby or whatever. So my first ghost is going to show up. This character right here. I mean, you can't have a party without this guy, Mr. Keith Moon. It's going to be 30 minutes in. There's going to be TVs flying out the 4th floor window of Bobby Z's house. He's going to have Z's Ferrari back into his Olympic-sized pool out there, and pouring 40 gallons of Tide in the washing machine, and soap bubbles going from the sub-basement up to the 3rd floor in Z's house. It's going to be a mess. It's going to be a blast. So that guy, Keith Moon, he's one of the ghosts. The other one, almost as crazy, but in a slightly darker way, Mr. Mojo Rising himself, the Lizard King. And I hope that doesn't, I don't want part of that, but Jim Morrison there, because he's literate. He's into the poetry and the books. He can read The Night Before Christmas. He can even read The Christmas Story. But he'll be keeping up with Keith Moon, and no telling, probably swinging from the chandeliers and whatnot. Uh, but Morrison, he's a little downbeat and dark, even though he's great. So we've got Keith Moon, we've got Jim Morrison. We need someone that's equally crazy but more in fun, upbeat way. And so I'm going to go Jake Blues, John Belushi, and I forgot to pull out. That's what she said. I forgot to get the Blues Brothers album over there. But yeah, I mean, he's going to be dancing, he's going to be singing. You know, Bobby Z is going to be up there dancing and singing with him, and some point, the National Guard are going to be called in on this party. But yeah, that's John Belushi, Keith Moon, Jim Morrison, and on a side note, these don't count for my choices, but goes to Grace Kelly, Natalie Wood, Sandra Dee, Marilyn Monroe, and since Bobby's the generous host and he's paying for this party and providing all the food and fun, I'll get a couple for him. We'll get the Ghost of Miss Jane and Ghost of Aunt Esther for you, Bobby, specifically for you. John, Keith, and Jim, they can find their own girls. Will be taken care of. And yeah, it's going to be uh, rocking around the Christmas tree at Z's house on December 24th, I think it is. And so that's the guest list: John Belushi, Moon the Loon, and Mr. Mojo Rising, Mr. Jim Morrison. And so that is that. And I'm looking forward to the VC lottery to see who wins. And I got this weird color. You can watch Bobby's video because he'd run out of letters, and I've got color, so I can buy an album that's person of the band has a color in their name. So I'm already doing my research, Bobby, and I've got my choices, and I'm narrowing them down for what I'm going to buy for the winner of this. I'd love to win, but to tell you the truth, I'd really rather not. I would rather give the present to someone else and watch their reaction video as they're getting all these records, because that'd be a lot of fun to do. So, happy Halloween, happy Thanksgiving, happy Christmas, and ho 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 on the VC lottery.